Welcome, everyone.
Blite Nation.
And Vito and Liz coming back at you.
Right.
So I'm about to learn something today, I guess.
Making our Twitter debut with the video.
I'm about to learn something today.
Yes, Ian is going to learn about a new candidate that is making a rise. Yes, he's running under the Republican banner, but let's just get that out of the way. Stop looking at him for... Listen to what the man says, not the title he has. You see what I mean?
Okay, yeah, okay.
Just because he's running for a certain party, what he's saying should matter more.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Focus on what he's saying, not what...
Not just because he says he's a Republican.
I got you.
That shouldn't cloud your thoughts based off of what he's going to say.
Okay.
Because...
Fair enough.
Anything to add, Liz? What? Anything to add? No, you're right. So Ian, hit that play button. Let's see what Mr. Vivek. It's Vake cake with lips. It's like saying cake. Vake. Vivek.
I'm still having a hard time.
Now you two said you've seen this.
I've seen this, yes.
I've seen it, yeah.
It is amazing what this dude actually says.
All right. But Ian has not seen this yet.
So this is Ian's, I think, second time seeing an interview about Vivek.
Yes. But I just haven't seen this one.
Right. You watched that Tim Pool.
Yeah.
So,
but
without further ado, let's see Mr. Tucker Carlson himself interview Vivek Ramaswamy.
I've been there before, yeah.
Let's get a producer on the stage. Right. Put it in the wrong way. You have to put the batteries in the correct way. Okay.
Is that on? I love it. So Vivek is the only person I think who hasn't practiced politics for a living. Correct.
Yeah, I'm not a practitioner.
No, you're not. You're not a practitioner. So it's interesting. So let me just start with it very quick.
So do you remember from the Tim Pool interview that he's a businessman from the pharmaceutical? He created pharmaceuticals and stuff.
Yeah, that
He's
part.
also written some books and stuff. And
yeah.
Like. So I make sure.
So he's not a politician.
No,
he's not.
Not at all. He's getting into this race because this country needs help.
Yeah.
All right.
Overview. You've been traveling around the country for the past 3 months, 4 months?
Yeah, 4 months.
How do you think the country's doing?
I think the country is doing poorly, is the answer. I think that we have a void in our country. I'm the first millennial ever to run for U.S. president as a Republican. And I see people my age in particular across this country who are not doing well because we're starved for purpose and meaning. The people are looking to be part of something bigger than ourselves.
Yeah, he's right there.
Yeah.
There's too many young people that are missing a purpose. They're being forced into going to college where they're told this is what you have to do and giving no outlet. There's a bunch of useless degrees that when they go to try to get into the real world, they can't use. See what I mean?
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Do you see how the way he is?
See how he's articulate.
He's like talking to the audience.
He's breaking it down to the way an average person could understand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is actually more difficult than when people realize.
No, he's talking to the young people. He's talking to people, not down to them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Too many politicians talk down to you like you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I'm liking more and more of what I see from this guy. Go ahead.
And yet we've lost the things that used to ground us. Faith, patriotism, hard work, family. These things are gone. And so we're lost in the wilderness. And then we latch on to whatever the other side serves up for us. We could wokeism, transgenderism, climatism, whatever it is. These are symptoms, drug addiction, depression, suicide, you name it. These are symptoms of a deeper void of purpose and meaning in our country.
See?
But
see what he's saying about that? There's symptoms of not having a purpose, of not knowing, of not having a drive towards fulfillment. Something that makes you happy in the moment isn't fulfillment. It's satisfaction in the moment.
Yeah, but I would say it's hard to it's hard. I don't want to say generalize. it's hard to like promote purpose at a large level.
No, he's saying that you have to be able to help people find that purpose, and there's nothing really helping young people find a purpose. That's what he's saying.
Okay, all right.
He's saying that we need to find that purpose more.
Which is true.
And usually, hard work is one of the things that can help you find that purpose.
Yeah.
That's because I think I would say as a society we don't care about education anymore. We stopped caring about it.
Well, because we keep just pushing kids through.
Well, also it's now we've now taught kids, and I wouldn't even say kids. We've taught like everybody that
You don't have to be the best.
you don't have to be the best, or we've taught everyone that education doesn't mean shit. How much money can you get?
Which that's a problem. You should be hired, which is
Yep.
when you start hiring people based off of skin color and not based off of merit, that's what happens.
But also, it's not even just about money anymore. It's going from education to money. Now it's going to clout.
Yep.
Clout's worth more than actual fucking money now,
Yep.
because have you can have done something 15 years ago that was so grand that you got enough clout from it, you got enough notoriety from it, that now that people still know what you did from 15 years ago. So you may not have the money from 15 years ago, but you got the public image still.
Right.
So to some people, you're still famous.
Even though you don't have any money.
Like, look at a lot of child stars.
Yeah.
If they're not on TV anymore, people know them for what they did 20 years ago. So they got enough clout and status to their name that no matter what they do, they're always going to be living a higher life than the average person because of what they did 20 years ago.
Right. Which means it's
Right.
harder for them to relate
Yeah.
to the person. But back it up a little, just like one tick sheet.
We're void of purpose and meaning in our country. But Tucker, I think the good news in that is I think our country's not doing well, but I think that this is also our opportunity as a movement to level up and fill that void, that vacuum, with our own vision. Individual, family, nation, God. When I talk to young people about this, they're more interested in that than they are in race, gender, sexuality, and climate. And so now we got to start running to something as Americans, and if we do, I'm confident that our country will be doing well again. That's where I'm
See what he
at.
means there?
Is it my imagination or are people
I see what he's saying.
Put everybody around something where they can be excited and focused on for the direction of a country. Something that no matter which side you're on, you can be proud to stand behind.
I see what you're saying about that.
who
He's not wrong. I
No,
mean,
not at all.
weren't raised in traditional religious households, who haven't spent a lot of time thinking about theology, all of a sudden talking about God a lot? Do you notice that?
I do notice that, actually, and I think this is a good sign because there's an old expression, right? If there's a hole the size of God in your heart and God does not fill it, something else will instead. That's what's happened in the last decade in our country. Something else, some secular religion has filled that void. But it hasn't really satisfied our moral hunger, right? And so that's that effect is fading, and I think people are hungry to turn back to the real thing. The conversation's coming up, but they say it with a kind of prudishness.
Yes.
Right? God is a four-letter word. It's sort of a thing you have to tiptoe around. And I think that right now, family's the same way. The nuclear family makes some people uncomfortable when I say it, but actually this is the best known form of governance to mankind. And so if we start talking more about, hey, that's what we're running to. That's actually what we stand for. Yes, we are one nation. I'm a citizen of this nation, not some nebulous global citizen somewhere else. That it is one nation under God. Yes, it is a nation that is stronger
See what you're
when we
saying
ground
with that?
ourselves in the unit of the.
Because there are people that think that we're all global citizens, that a person in America should be on the same level as somebody in Afghanistan. I'm sorry, we're not all citizens of the world. We all live in different parts of the world. We all live together. But my country in America.
okay, I
my
see what you're
country-
saying. So, like, us living in the United States, we can't over here say we're citizens of Sweden.
Right. Or it's the same thing.
Never been to Sweden.
Right.
Never stepped foot in Sweden.
It'd be like saying all of a sudden all of our resources that we have available in this country, any country can lay claim to it just because it's land. Because we're all part of the world. That'd be like China just coming over here and building a plant and just taking our oil out of our ground for just because they can, because it's the world's land, not America's land.
Okay. Okay.
I have a problem with that. I'd have a problem. It's just like
So
the Russians would have
you're
a
trying to
problem
look at it as a more diplomatic thing. Like there's got to be respect for different.
exactly. You
Okay.
have to have borders. You have to have boundaries.
Like I'm not. It's like, oh, I don't want to work with you. It's like, let's have a discussion of
Right.
how we want to work this
We
out.
can trade and do things everywhere, but my land is my land.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean. And, oh God, here we go. Oh, I know some of y'all gonna freak
Hey,
out and say Vito's
no,
saying some people aren't welcome here.
no,
That's
no,
not what he's
not,
saying.
not saying that at
No.
all.
That's
It'd be
not
the
what
same
he's
thing.
saying.
Do you think Norwegians want me to go over there and just start digging stuff up in their yard and
It's
grabbing things?
it's kind of like say you got a house. You don't want just random people coming to your house that you don't know who the hell they are.
Exactly. Perfect example.
Like I would at least like to like know who you are
Exactly.
Right.
coming to my house.
That's
And
what
if
I'm
you
getting
want
at.
to come to this country, you got to respect
I
the
want people
rules,
exactly.
the rules of the country, because
Okay.
and the country that you came from, there are different rules. You're leaving out of there because you want to better yourself, and you think that coming to this country, you're going to have a better life. But you can't just do whatever you want. You can't do what you were doing over there. You got to follow up the rules that's here.
Ian, how come
And
nobody?
this is more freer. This is a free, freedom.
How come nobody can answer this
Fight
question?
for that.
Why are the best countries in the world always framed as the worst countries in the world? The top two places in the world people usually want to go to are the UK and America. Why are so many people want to come to this country if it's so terrible? I've not once heard a good answer for that.
I think the reason why a lot of people, like some people in the United States, say like, "Oh, the United States is terrible," it's because the reason why they're saying that they don't have anything to compare it to.
Exactly.
They've never gone to next door to Mexico, or they've never gone next door to Canada.
Nope.
They've never. So to me, I live like in my lifetime, I can't compare United States to any other country. So if I'm talking prospectively, then yes, to me, the United States is the best country in the world. Now, a lot of you are trying to say are trying to compare best to perfect. America's not. It's not a fucking
not
utopia.
perfect.
Oh,
Exactly.
God,
Nowhere's
no.
There's no.
No.
There's like.
Well, what's going on?
There's no utopias that. So put it this way: if everybody lived in if we lived in a utopia, United States, there's roughly, like last time I checked, I think there's like roughly 330 million people in the United States.
somewhere like that. Yeah.
There would not
Yeah,
be a single damn person complaining about shit.
Exactly.
So like no one would have any. That means everybody's getting money, everybody's comfortable, everybody has no issues with each other. Yada yada yada. All like that's what a utopia is, where you can't count a single problem that exists.
No.
That's not what the United States is. If you look at the world like development wise, if you want to look at a global level, technically the United States is still a social experiment. It's the youngest country in the world. We don't know where the fuck it's going to be in another 100 years.
But it's been the most successful, fastest growing country.
It has. It has. But like what?
And where
We got the United States got the independence from Britain in 1776, right?
Yeah.
It's 2023. Okay? So the way I'm looking at it is we're still young as hell. We've developed into a superpower within like what, that's 200 years, that's roughly 200 years. We don't have all this shit figured out.
No.
We do not have all this shit figured out.
So anybody that thinks that we're trying to say America's perfect and it's the best place in the world,
It's
it's the
not.
best place in the world, but not because it's perfect.
Perfect. No. It's like
It's because for now it's still the freest place.
we are still a
It's
beacon
still-
of light to a lot of other nations.
Exactly.
like if I'm gonna if I would rather live in the United States than any other country because there's a lot of shit that you can do here that you can't do in a lot of other countries.
Exactly.
Although
Yeah,
Again,
because it's there's some of the countries that have a dictatorship,
yeah,
and it's just one rule for all kind of
yeah, you
thing.
got
You
democracies, you
know,
got autocracy, I think it is. Monarchy is the family thing, right?
that's
Like
the
that's
king.
king. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got communists out there. You got dictatorships out
Pretty
there.
much communism.
Yeah,
Dictatorship, communist, that's very much.
very closely related. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Same,
But
just like socialist, communist,
but
king, that's all pretty much the same thing.
I know the people that I don't know. I just feel like the ones who say like the ones that get up on the social media and say, "Oh, look how trash America is." I'm like, okay. My first two question is: have you ever lived outside the United States
Exactly. What do you
for at least a period of 5 years?
Yeah, not just like I
No,
went on vacation for a week.
yeah, I went to Mexico for 2 weeks. No, you didn't live there. You visited.
I spent a week in Greece and it was beautiful.
Have you lived in another country for at least a period of 5 years?
Mhm.
Okay. If not, then you really can't compare United States to another country. Maybe you lived in Florida and then moved and lived in New York. You can compare two different states.
Yes, exactly.
You can do that, but you can't compare like you can't do. I can't
Exactly.
compare the United States to anything. The only way I can actually
You
compare
can,
it,
but you can make an educated guess
yes.
that America's better than like say England.
Now the
Unfortunately,
only
there's a lot of like just death and
yeah,
disease and stuff because it's an underdeveloped country.
the only way I
Like-
can compare the United States to another country is if I'm looking at a fact sheet. That's all I can do, and that's just statistics. You can manipulate statistics.
Not saying factually, but saying off the top of your head, if you wanted to make an educated guess, which country's better, America or Haiti?
Oh, America,
Which country's better, America or Japan?
America. Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I'm just educated
America or
guess.
Nigeria?
America.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Like there's
It's like you're saying. I know what you're saying. Hey, you can't. You just made comparisons because you know off the top of your head what you can do in this country, assuming what you wouldn't be able to do.
I would be able to
Right.
thrive better here.
Exactly. That's my point. That's just what I was getting at. I could say America, France. I'm pretty sure no matter what I said, your answer would be America.
Yeah, and that's not to say I hate other countries.
No,
I don't have
that's
no
the-
issue with anybody from any
That was just
other
a quick
country.
experiment.
Yeah,
That's
I
all.
don't care where in the world you come from. If you're cool, I'm cool with you.
Right.
I don't care where the fuck you come from.
And I know other people who are in their countries are going to say their countries are the best.
Yeah, because they already adapt.
Yeah,
They
They
adapted to that living
they
style.
grew up there. We grew up over here,
Mhm.
and I tell you one thing: we are spoiled. We are privileged
Oh, we
to
are.
be here compared to
Oh,
other
trust me.
countries.
We have American privilege.
oh, trust me.
Americans
There's
don't want to say it, but we have American privilege.
oh yeah,
You're 100% right. Yeah.
yeah.
And the only other privilege you get in America besides American privilege is called family privilege, which he'll get into.
Oh, okay. You want me to back it up a little bit?
Just do a click with that.
Under God. Yes, it is a nation that is stronger when we ground ourselves in the unit of the family. Then I notice something happens, especially for younger people across the country, Tucker, is they're more open to that message than they thought, but they need someone to serve it up to them. And I think I'm the first non-politician, but I'm also a younger person in this race. I don't have a ton of experience running governments before. But I think in reaching younger people, that's something I feel called to do in this race, and it's why we're traveling college campuses across this country. And I am optimistic about what I see.
Well, since you are a younger person and spend time with them, we saw yesterday that a group of reservists has been called up to Europe, apparently, to prepare for war with Russia. Of people in the age cohort who might plausibly be called up to do that, what's the response?
I think there is no basis for us to send our young men and women, our sons and daughters, people my age or any age, to go defend somebody else's border halfway around the world when we should be using our own military to secure our own border in this country.
Yep.
And I will not apologize for that.
I 100% agree with that.
Exactly.
Why are we going to defend anybody else's border when our
Uh-huh.
border isn't defended?
Our border is not even fully built, right? still
I
needs to be finished. And the reason, any anybody from any country are welcome here, but you got to come here the right way,
And I feel terrible for
because
what's going on in
we
Ukraine.
don't want criminals coming over here to this country and making this country even worse than what it is right now. So you just got to go by the rules. And people right now, the president is welcoming people that they're not checking their backgrounds. They're just come on over. I'm like, that's wrong, you know?
I
Yeah,
get confused with this one. Only reason why, like, I acknowledge what he's saying, and I understand what he's saying. Um, I don't know if you can make this comparison, but when he says we shouldn't be using our resources to help like another.
no. He says our sons and daughters shouldn't be going to fight.
Oh, okay. So thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Our sons and daughters. Is he meaning like the draft?
No, yeah, he's saying boots on the ground, our military should not be going to defend somebody else's border when our borders are undefended.
Okay, so correct. Tell me if
You can rewind it and listen to it again if you want.
both of you, let me know if I'm wrong.
Okay.
And people in the comments section,
Okay,
let me know
you
if
see
I'm
if
off
you got it
topic.
right. Yeah.
Only reason why I get confused is I think about World War II.
Okay.
I like in learning about World War II and like how Hitler like fucking took all of Europe,
Mm-hmm.
which was scary, and seeing how people were treated.
Yep.
Like the only reason like Hitler kind of lost is because like America got involved.
Yes and no. Yeah,
Like if you think about like imagine if America had never gotten involved, I feel like Hitler would have taken everything.
no.
All like he would have taken
Hitler
Europe.
went into Russia in the winter,
Okay, so maybe okay.
and we had the nuclear bomb before that.
Because I know Japan attacked us in Pearl Harbor.
Dragged us.
We dropped that bomb, and then Japan just was like, "All right, we sorry."
Yeah.
Um.
Well, we devastated Japan.
Yeah, like Japan just said, "Okay, we sorry, we'll leave you alone."
But
After
it was more so, there was way more opportunity to stop Hitler before he got going to that point. And quite honestly, this war would be over within the day after. If Donald Trump got elected in 2024, the war would be over in 24 hours. This war is just a giant money laundering effort. Do you know how much money the politicians are making right now on this war?
Oh yeah,
How
because
much Raytheon and all these
Yeah.
big companies, BlackRock, are making?
the
on this
private
war?
private corporations.
Yeah. They bitched for 4 years about how much money Donald Trump cost them by not starting a new war. A guy like this getting in there, whether he's the president or vice president under Trump for 4 years before he could become president, the war would be over in 24 hours.
So in a way you're kind of saying like you only need boots on the ground like if it's absolutely needed.
Necessary.
Yeah.
Not to defend somebody else's borders when you can't defend your own country. And right now, this is still, in my opinion, as much as people are going to hate this, it's a territorial dispute. And yes, wait till you hear his reasoning that would end the war. He has the perfect thing. A lot of people wouldn't like it. But yes, you're getting something to get something. The Ukrainians are not going to like it because you got to give up something. But you also are gaining something for them to give up something.
Okay.
But wait
Okay.
until you hear him explain it, because then you can see and be like, I understand why that trade-off.
Our own border in this country. And I will not apologize for that. We have to put the interests of this country first. And one of the things that does frustrate me, Tucker, is that this is one issue where I so love many of the other people who are running for this nomination for president. I think most of us and the entire field I speak for are in this for the right reasons. We are people who care about our country and want to deliver our country to a better place.
Yes.
But on this issue, nearly our entire field is indistinguishable in practice from where Biden is on this, which is in an undefined, ill-defined way pouring more money into a war that I think is destined to become Vietnam or Iraq all over again. And if you don't learn from the lessons of the past, you're going to be making the same mistakes on an even larger scale going forward.
Exactly.
We have to end the
They're
Okay.
trying. This feels more like Vietnam than World War II.
I mean,
See-
well, we did get lied about we did get lied to about the Vietnam War for like 40 fucking years.
Exactly.
So,
this war. We can end this war and start prioritizing the interests of actual U.S. citizens here at home.
So I think, judging by the response you just got, I think a chunk of, I don't know what percentage, but a lot of Republican primary voters agree with you. Not all, but a lot. I don't think any Republican donors agree with you.
No.
I think that's accurate. And I've lost, to be really honest with you, I've lost many large donors or prospective donors over this issue. And it puzzles me because I think the tempting thing to say is to have some conspiratorial explanation that they have money at stake in government contractors, Raytheon or whatever. I don't think that's true, actually. I think there's something else going on in the psychology of an establishment in both the Republican Party and the Democrat Party that is reluctant to the idea that we somehow can't be the ones fighting the war that's the popular war of the day, the politically correct war. I think there's no such thing as a politically correct war. And so what I ask is, how are we actually going to end this conflict in a way that advances U.S. interests? And the thing that puzzles me, Tucker, is nobody in either party is talking about this right now. The Russia-China alliance is the single greatest threat that the U.S. actually faces today. And we are pushing Russia closer into China's arms by actually continuing to arm Ukraine. So what I've said is that I would negotiate a deal that ends the Ukraine war, frees the current lines of control. Yes, that means giving part of the Donbas region to Russia. I would make a hard commitment that NATO never admits Ukraine to NATO. And those seem like unspeakable words in certainly the Republican donor class. But we get something greater in return, which is that Putin, in that case, would have to exit his military partnership with China and remove nuclear weapons from Kaliningrad, which border Poland, and get the Russian military out of Cuba and Venezuela and the West. And this is a deal that Putin should do because he ends up winning. He gets things that he doesn't have today. But it secures American interests, too. And I do think in a weird way, it does take an outsider to get that job done. Because if you want...
You see what he's saying with that plan? Because all Putin needs, because he doesn't have it, is access to the Black Sea. And that's for trade routes and to be able to negotiate for his Navy to get access to the Atlantic Ocean.
so pretty much, in order to make a deal, you got to get something to get.
Yes. But we're also getting...
No, you got to give something to get it. Sorry.
But you're getting China and the Russian military alliance done. You're getting Russia's military drawn from Venezuela, Cuba, and all that area, and they're taking their nukes off of the border of Poland. So yes, does it suck? You got to give up. So you got to give up something to get something.
I mean, you got to give respect to get it.
Right. Would the Ukrainians like that? No, and I'm sorry if you're in Ukraine right now. I feel for you. I really do. But this war's got to end. And only him and Trump have the plans to end it. All the other candidates want to keep pouring money into this war. Even on the Democrat side, they just want to keep funding this war. They're the only two that want to end it.
I think it's because some people think a war has to have a winner.
Exactly. No. There can be a peaceful breakup.
Yeah, you can peacefully dissolve something.
But that's what I mean. If he's elected president, the war's over in 24 hours. We might not see it for like 6 to 8 months, but officially it would be over in 24 hours.
I like how he's breaking it down so
Oh,
like
yeah.
people can understand. I'll give him
Yeah.
that.
Want someone to fix a problem, you don't turn over the keys to somebody who actually broke the thing in the first place. If you want to fix it, maybe have somebody who didn't break it in the first place, and that's part of why I'm in this race as an outsider.
Okay, well, since you're getting radical now, let's go through a list of all the other things you're not allowed to say. So you've just said, you know, you're not attacking anybody, but this doesn't seem to be helping us. In fact, it seems to be creating an alliance that we can't beat, and really, it's pretty scary. So let's just go through the list. Another thing you can't say is that maybe January 6th, while appalling on one level, maybe it was not an insurrection.
So let me talk about, I haven't talked about this much in the campaign. I'll be very honest with you. You want to know what caused January 6th? There's such a temptation to say that there's one man whose name is unspeakable. We can't.
No, first of all, it's QAnon.
It's
QAnon.
It's QAnon. You want to know what caused January 6th? Is pervasive censorship in this country in the lead up to January 6th. You tell people in this country they cannot speak, that is when they scream. You tell people they cannot scream, that is when they tear things down. And so the reality is, we were told.
See what he's saying with that?
Yeah, it's kind of like how I don't know if it was Martin Luther King who said it or somebody else. It's kind of like saying you don't condone rioting, but understand. Like to me, I don't condone rioting, but I understand the emotional expression behind it.
Yeah, but he's also saying, you know how the social media is that they are hiding the truth of what's going on. They're censoring what the other side doesn't want the norms to know about.
By censoring conversations, you're getting both sides angrier for nothing.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Like they're picking to what control to put out there what they want the normies to know about.
They want to control the narrative.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what he's saying about censorship. Instead of letting everybody know about what's really going on both sides, and then we could actually choose, and it would be a whole different story.
They're trying to
That
drive
would have not happened. The
not to that extent. Like
J6
no.
exactly. It would have been different.
Okay.
That is when they tear things down. And so the reality is, we were told that you could not question where the virus came from when we all knew it came from a lab in Wuhan, which now they admit.
Yep.
We were told that you could not send a private message to someone on the eve of an election that Hunter Biden's laptop story was actually a true story worth considering before an election. You were systematically suppressed. So think about this. You told you had to be locked down, had to take a vaccine that was mandated and forced down your throat, stay locked down in your home while Antifa and BLM roam and burn the streets of this country. So that's the lead up of 1 full year of telling people you have to shut up, sit down, and do as you're told. And then you tell them, okay, there's an election where you didn't get the information that you needed, such as the Hunter Biden laptop story being real and suppressed. That's what caused January 6th, is a cycle of censorship in this country. And until we look ourselves in the mirror and admit truth on that, we will not move forward as a country. And I think that's the real cause. And we're not, and I'm sorry to say this, Tucker, but I think until we reckon with that reality, I worry that is the beginning of, it's a friendly parley compared to what's to come, unless we step up and speak truth, restore integrity, and actually lead us to who we are as a people, rather than sweeping the truth under the rug.
Yeah.
How can you, just as a philosophical question, a lot of the people who are pushing censorship, in fact, I would say almost all of them, in both parties, particularly the Democratic Party, claim they're doing so in order to protect democracy. But how can you have a democracy with censorship?
So you want to know the best measure of the health of a democracy? We're a constitutional republic, but I'll use lowercase d democracy as a fill-in, right? Couldn't resist.
People always applaud at that. I love that.
It's just the truth, though, right?
No, it is
We're a
true.
republic.
But the civics majors love it.
Yeah, that's great. But the best measure of the health of our American democracy, our constitutional republic, is the percentage of people who feel free to say what they actually think in public. That's the metric.
Yeah.
It's not the number of ballots cast
see what he's
every
saying with
November.
that?
That's just
You see what he's saying with that? The measure of a free people is being able to actually say what you think, no matter how mean or nasty you think it is. Again, to somebody, me saying I like the color blue, to somebody out there, that's mean and nasty. You see what I mean?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
So he's saying pretty much the basis of being a free people is being able to actually communicate what's on your mind without fear of repercussion or being jailed in prison.
Yeah.
If you say certain things, you're going to get punched in the face. That's
Yeah.
out. But you should be allowed to say it and not be arrested for saying anything. You see what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, yeah, I see.
It's like perfect, the pronouns thing.
Yeah, yes. And just because you don't use the proper pronouns shouldn't mean you have a $10,000 fine. Fucking Michigan.
So that's a good example
Yeah,
right
you know,
there.
you
And
know that,
that
right?
shouldn't be happening.
There's just no point to that.
Nobody will ever have to pay that fine. It's gonna as soon as that gets issued once, it's going to get shot down in the Supreme Court. It goes instantly against freedom of speech.
Yeah,
You can't fine somebody for misgendering.
Yeah, like you're forcing the person to,
Yeah.
no.
You see what he's saying? When
No,
you
yeah.
don't have the freedom to actually say what you think, you're not free.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, yeah. Hey, I'm all for freedom of speech. But like I said, like I agree like what Vito just said. I'm all for freedom of speech. You shouldn't be jailed for shit.
No.
But like
But there are
certain things you say to a person, they'll knock you on your ass.
Certain people will take action.
Yeah, they'll knock you on your ass.
And depending on the action, that is what would be charges on.
Yeah.
Not for the words said. You can't charge people for words.
Like, just saying.
Words can be what helped cause the action, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But the words themselves should not be the reason for the fine or jail.
Like, some things, like, nowadays, ladies are more active. Like, you don't even get slapped anymore. You'll get knocked the fuck out by a woman. You say, women will knock you out. Like, and then, but then what gets me is, oh, well, she's being too aggressive. I mean, she got the right to defend herself.
Exactly.
Like,
but as soon as you start letting somebody define what certain speech is, there is no line, because then they can say anything.
Yeah, true.
Because what happens when they start saying, blue is now a swear.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
That's the ridiculous level right there.
Everyone's like, the blue would be a swear. Yeah, wait to see how crazy things could get.
Yeah, exactly. We can't let things
Fair enough.
out of hand.
Fair enough.
Get out of here like that. So
Just going through the motions. It is not some other metric of what the media says on a given day. It is the percentage of people who will say in public what they're willing to say behind closed doors. There's no doubt we're doing poorly. The culture is censorious enough. Now, if you say the government on top of that is using social media companies to do through the back door what government could not censor through the front door under the Constitution, that creates the real threat to lowercase d democracy. My litmus test is if Vladimir Putin was doing it and we would call it a threat to democracy, it's a threat to democracy when we do it on this side of the Atlantic as well. Okay, that's a good way of not pointing the finger at somebody else, but looking ourselves in the mirror and asking ourselves who we really are. And this is personal for me. I'm a Republican candidate for U.S. president. It feels still new to say that. Not a politician by nature, but I bring that fact up, now as of very recently, certainly polling reasonably well in the recent polls. And I bring that up because against that backdrop, Microsoft owned LinkedIn, censored my social media account. They locked my account, said I can't get in to make statements that are factually grounded statements about climate change, about Biden's relationship with China, about the ESG movement's perpetuation of a climate cult in this country, all grounded in fact, saying that it violates their policies for hate speech, misinformation. And I'm not making this one up. They said violence in the email. And so
love it.
in my case, look, I was able to publicize that. They were then claimed it was an error, restored the account, typical operating procedure. But it's that culture of censorship in our country that I think we also, I'm trying to do my part, where I was in Ottumwa, Eastern Iowa, earlier this week. Smaller event than this, but we're on the stage talking. Somebody walks in. She's screaming at the top of her lungs.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
At first, I thought usually if they're screaming, sometimes they're in favor of what you're saying. So I said thank you, but I realized that actually no, she
When she bit you, you realized?
she came. So she was out of control. Okay.
Yeah. I know her. I ran into her at Dulles Airport last week. Yeah.
We've all seen a version of her, but the truth is, so security was escorting her out, and it felt wrong to me, right? Because she came here to make a point. She was totally wild in the way she was making it, but I'm watching her walk out the door. She's at the back of the room now, and I said, this doesn't feel right. Right? Because as I said earlier, you tell people they can't speak, that's when they scream. You tell people they can't scream, and she was screaming. That's when they're going to go tear something down.
Exactly.
So I said, no, bring her back. We gave her the mic. I said, I promised. You ask your question, but I promise I get to answer it in return. She agrees to that. It turns out she's a pro-choice advocate, a my body, my choice person. I was going to the state legislature on Tuesday morning. I think she must have known that. Came to this event to protest my being there. But I give her the mic. She's just talking for, 3, 4, 5 minutes. But by the end of it, it actually turns out, the story comes out that she's a single mother who did bring her daughter into the world. And the things she was saying were things like, my daughter is successful. I don't want you to look down on me. And I thought it was beautiful that the more she started talking, the more she started making our very point of why we believe in protecting life. And so I said, disagreements aside, you are a mother. We celebrate that. The audience applauded. It's why I love Iowans.
Wow.
She broke down in tears and left. And so I'm moved by what is possible in our country. Our country is broken. We are
Do you see why censorship is so bad? Because if she walked out, she would have been against him.
Completely hating him.
But he let her talk, which is the freedom of speech, which that's what we need right now.
And she left in tears of shock because she couldn't believe the reception she got.
See the big difference right there? Just when you uncensor stuff.
And you actually calm down and actually try to make a coherent point when you speak and not just scream nonsense.
That's how it should be. It should be always civil. No matter what.
Most candidates would have threw her out.
Yep.
That's true.
He let her speak.
Yep. Because why? That's a freedom of speech.
Even though she was acting crazy and deserved to be thrown out. He said, no.
How are you supposed to progress when you're doing the same thing over and over with other, politicians or other people that are doing what he's doing, kicking people out? Bring him in.
That's how you increase the divide between
You need to listen to them, because if you want to be like him, he wants to be a president, you got to listen to everyone.
Yeah.
You can't just do what you want to do. Because you want to be a president, you're going to be a leader. You got to listen to what the people want.
You can't pick and choose whose voices matter.
Right. Exactly.
Right there.
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. I can't really argue that.
Spiritually broken. We have a spiritual void in this country. It is our job to step up and fill that void by practicing what we preach as conservatives. And so I'm hoping we're doing that. I love doing that in Iowa. It's been something that's really lifted me up in a way that was never an experience I had as a CEO or in business. I've never had these experiences as we've had in the last few months. And honestly, as broken as our country is, it leaves me optimistic about where we're headed.
And you can listen to people. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not going to hurt
you.
you.
Okay, so it's so interesting. So you, and I think the intro of you described some of it, but you're coming from a completely different world. It's not like you were mayor, state legislator. You're coming from business and technology and biotech. So what have you learned? How have your views changed since you immersed yourself in crowds of voters and started listening to people?
Yeah, so I think my views have changed in part by my belief that we're not as divided as they make it out to be. right? Because many CEOs in this country are frightened, right, of speaking their mind openly. It actually stops many of them will say, well, stops them from being donors to me, to maybe other causes. They're deathly scared because they believe that we're a nation at our breaking point. And in some ways, we are, because we let it get there. But one of the things I've been convinced of, I've changed my mind on, is that I don't think we're nearly as divided as we're taught to believe. Right? I went to the south side of Chicago. It's one of the places it's not really where the political advisors would tell you to go if you're in a Republican primary. I went to Kensington and downtown in the inner city of Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia. And I'll tell you, the people in those rooms, especially in the south side of Chicago, where they're converting South Shore High School into an encampment for migrants who they're spending $7,000 per person per month on. This is the supposedly far left, nearly entirely black, Democratic voting bloc. And I have never heard more eloquent cases for securing the border and actually prioritizing the interests of Americans than I heard in that room.
What did they say?
They said, what about us?
Yeah.
Was actually the right way to say that. And it came out in many ways where, look, we are Christians. We believe in treating these people humanely.
You see that?
But it's not right that
South side of Chicago, they're converting a high school where they're already having education issues into a home for migrants where they're spending $7,000 a month per person of the taxpayers' money. But not helping the actual people in the community. When there was a formula shortage, Americans had trouble getting it because they were sending it to the border for migrants. I understand that's a terrible situation to be in. But in America, Americans should come first.
Exactly.
That's why,
It's like they're over freaking doing the help.
Just like in Norway, Norwegians come first, and Sweden, Swedish come first, and Russia, Russians come first, and China, the Chinese. You see what I mean?
that's why, man, I say it every freaking day. I don't want this damn job.
No.
Fuck this. I don't want to be a congressman. I don't want to be a senator.
No, it is
I don't
not.
want to be. Fuck this. Because, bro, it's getting to a point now where, say, for example, all right, and like he was saying in Chicago, say, for example, you decide to hold off on the traffic of immigration coming in, right? You say, okay, we want to use this high school. We want to open it back up for the people that already live in the community. Now, optics wise, it looks like you don't give a shit about the people who want to immigrate in. So then, if you switch that choice and say, okay, we want to help the immigrants, now optic wise, it looks like you don't give a fuck about the people already living in a community. You can't win shit.
Well, you would win. You should be
You can't.
Well, in the optics should be you want to help your community, so that way people want to come there legally. Why are you helping illegal people when you have legal citizens
That's
that need
the
help?
issue.
You're
That's
helping
the
people
issue.
that came illegally to this country, that tried to skip the line of the thousands of people waiting in line to come legally, and are now using resources that should be going to American families that need the resources.
Yep. There's a way for everything, and there's a way to do things the right way that makes sense. What they're doing does not make sense.
I understand what you're saying, yes, but optically it's worse to help the illegal people breaking the law over the law-abiding citizens who are paying for those services to go to people who broke the law to be here.
Yeah. Yo, this shit's fucked up, bro.
You start to see it now.
Bro,
on a human level, you want to help the people. I understand.
Exactly.
I understand.
But
in this country, Americans should come first. I'm sorry, and it sounds bad to say it that way. It really does. But again, in Mexico, Mexicans should come first. In Honduras, Hondurans should come first.
Exactly.
In Poland, the Polish should come first. In Syria, the Syrian shit. You see what I mean?
I see, bro. You could offer me money to be president, and I would turn that money down.
No, it's terrible.
I would not want this job.
But a guy like him is what you need in that job. Ugh.
I get everything he's saying. I see what he's saying. It's
And I understand on the human level, you want to help the people. that need
yeah,
help.
it's
But again, what about the people that are waiting in line that are trying to come to this country legally?
this is why I say you got to stop telling everybody they can be a boss.
Exactly. Not
Everybody can be not everybody can be management, bro.
No.
And now when you say that,
But everybody can become a boss. That's the difference. Not everybody can start as a boss.
like
You see what I mean?
I see what you mean.
You can learn and take your time. That's the beauty of America. But guess what? Not everybody can start at that level.
That's like
Exactly.
that's like
And not everybody's meant to be a boss.
the way I see it is you can say that I'm talking down to you, and that's not what I'm doing.
No.
Somebody got to be the CEO. Somebody got to be the manager. Somebody got to be the employee.
And somebody's got to be the janitor.
If
Janitor.
everybody is trying to work to be a CEO, it's like for example, take Walmart. If everybody's working to be management and everybody's working to be the CEO, who the hell cashing people out?
Exactly.
Somebody got to be at the register.
Guess what? Not everybody has the same value because not everybody puts the same effort into their job.
You can't be at the register and stock in the back room at the same damn
No,
time.
you can't.
You can't. Humans, unless one day we fucking evolve and we can transport and shit. That's a different conversation.
But that's also why you should be doing things based off of merit.
Like
Based off. That's why you should also be.
Of the
That's why
skill.
competition. Best person for the job.
Exactly.
I
that's
honestly
why
think that, on applications you shouldn't have names on there. You should just have the skills and what they're able to do, and you meet them after you hire them.
man.
There's some certain jobs that you're
You got to do background checks and other stuff. That's
yeah.
it's kinda
I mean,
stupid.
like cashiering. Cashiering, to me, this is my personal opinion, is the kind of job that you just breeze by
Yeah.
because that's you see a lot of young people doing cashiering, but then
But at the same time,
you see some older people doing that kind of job because I guess they're comfortable. So that's them.
but it's not
You
just
see what
that.
I'm saying?
People think that the fucking cashier should be making the same amount as a CEO.
Oh God, no.
Yeah,
That's the
no,
problem.
No.
That's the
No.
problem.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
No.
No, you should not be making the same money as the guy
No.
making all the goddamn
It's like
decisions for the
flipping
entire.
burgers and doctors making the same.
No.
No, because it's so much hard work you're putting into to being a doctor, and you're just flipping burgers, and then you're expecting to get the same pay as the doctors get.
Yeah, you can't.
That's the
wrong.
problem.
You can't. Yeah, that.
The people that think that you just the cashier should be making the same as the guy, the store manager. No.
No.
No,
That's why it's called a promotion.
exactly.
Okay.
That's
Look, we are Christians. We believe in treating these people humanely. But it's not right that they're spending $7,000 a month and getting baby formula when I couldn't find baby formula a year ago. I can't buy sneakers for my kids. They're providing sneakers for those kids. How does that work? How is that advancing my interest? And actually, you just reminded me of this. Many of them were asking me, as though I was on the side of it, of why on earth we're sending billions of dollars to Ukraine. So it was interesting to me that the tradition.
Meek Mill actually he got shit for it, but he was working in the studio making music, but he also he was questioning it, and he was because he does a lot with community stuff,
yeah.
and he was not to be an ass, but it's a good question. Why are we sending billions to Ukraine when you got a bunch of people struggling right here?
Yep.
And the banks are collapsing.
It's a reasonable question.
Imagine if $1 billion was put into the south side of Chicago streets and neighborhood, clean up those neighborhoods to make them better, to clean up the parks,
Philadelphia.
to hire some actually good teachers, to put a good school.
Mhm.
Imagine in downtown Philadelphia if they put $1 billion there. We have over 150 billion into Ukraine. I'm talking just 1 billion into each city.
Yeah.
Not to go to the politicians to distribute,
No.
to the community leaders to actually fix the city. What would have that you know how much better those cities would be right now if the city leaders had $1 billion to distribute the top churches in the area to actually clean up the cities?
You could clean up California a lot too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's his point.
Just New York.
But I think a reason a lot of it is you got a lot of different leaders in different sections of the United States. The problem with it is you got the wrong leaders because they start to believe that like some lives ain't worth saving.
Well, that's because too many people just look at a D or an R and
yeah, yeah,
They don't listen to what the people are running. They look too much at the skin color of the person.
yeah,
They don't look at the platform.
yeah.
They only look at the surface.
Yeah.
They don't dive in.
They say, "Oh, that's the D. That's who I'm voting."
Yeah, that's true.
Or my mom is voting for the D. I'm gonna vote for the D then,
Yeah,
without even knowing what's going on.
Detroit,
That's just an
50
example.
years of Democratic control. One party control, not continually switching back and forth where they would debate and fix things. Chicago, pretty much the same thing. You see?
I see what you're saying.
That means that you're not having debate on either way. If you're going in one direction and things aren't getting better for those people, how can you say it's the proper direction?
It's a good question.
When you see a lot of the politicians getting a lot wealthy, but the neighborhood's getting worse.
Hey man, fact.
Yeah.
Traditional partisan boundaries as drawn are really sort of retrofitted. We're sort of shoehorning an old structure. We're sort of shoehorning the modern truth into sort of an antiquated view where I don't think the dividing line in our country is between Republicans and Democrats right now. I think it is between those of us who are pro-American, who believe in the ideals of this country, who will not apologize for those ideals, who will stand up and sacrifice for those ideals, and those of us who are, and it exists in this country, I mean, the Vice President's a great embodiment of this, anti-American. Those who wish to apologize for a nation founded on our ideals. But if you divide it up that way, it is not 50-50 anymore. It's not even close. It's easily 80-20 in our favor, and half the 20 are people younger than me who never learned what those ideals were in the first place. We're going to bring them along too.
Being taught it.
And I think we have an opportunity to do in this country in 2024 what Ronald Reagan did in 1980. Deliver a landslide election, call the bluff on the division. Much of it is artificial. I fell for it, right? Even when I started this campaign, I'm running for a Republican candidate for U.S. president. I don't even talk about Republicans that much anymore. I try not to use the word. Not because it's a bad word, but because it doesn't mean anything. Right? If half the Republican, 3/4 of the Republican Party's got the same policy as Biden on the most important policy matter.
And you know, to me, I think this is why, I think this is why Republicans attack Democrats so much.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have anything to run on.
No.
They have jack shit to run on.
Besides making the other side hate each other.
So
this is the kind of guy that's going to bring both sides together.
And see,
Exactly.
You see what he just said?
Yeah.
Republican doesn't matter. Yes, that's what he's running under, but
and this is why people get mad. Oh, the Democrats are winning everything. It's not that the Democrats are winning everything. The Republican Party doesn't have a fucking platform.
This guy does.
Like, they don't got shit.
Vivek does.
Yeah.
This dude does. He's got a plan.
Like, Republicans, the Republican Party and like the representatives, they're complaining about shit. Like, I get it. You're acknowledging a problem.
But every time they get power, they do nothing.
Exactly. They don't fucking do shit. They sit there and just, oh, well, the Democrats are okay. If you don't like what the Democrats are doing, come up with a plan that you have.
To be fair, Trump did get shit done. He had a lot of weights put on his ankles because of the Congress that wouldn't let him do stuff, and he still did. He was the first guy in a long time that got a lot of stuff done because he was another outsider who wasn't a real Republican. You see what I mean?
But I've also noticed that between presidents, like they did the same shit for Trump.
Yep.
They did this. Like they're doing it for Biden. They're doing it for Trump. They did it for Obama. They're doing it for Bush. If the parties don't fucking like it, the president can't do shit, and then they blame the president for the fucking problem.
Yeah. No, it's probably a good thing because Biden don't know where the hell he is.
Like, the president is one fucking man.
Yeah.
Like, really, Congress got all the power.
Well, no. The executive branch has.
Oh, yeah,
power.
you got the executive. True.
What the president is, he's supposed to be the guy that makes the final decision based off of the information of the advisors.
Like, what gets me is people say, "Oh, Biden won't just do this." Biden, he can't just go on TV and say executive order this, executive. Then he looks like a fucking dictator.
Exactly.
You can't just do that.
Well, he could, but it would just look.
It would just look like dictatorship.
Yeah, you just gotta go through their branches.
It's the same thing. Oh, why didn't Obama just do executive order? Because then everybody would have called him a dictator.
Not only that, then the next president goes even further.
Exactly.
The next president goes further.
Like, you can't just executive order everything.
That's why the whole point of Congress is to work and use all three branches to work together to get things passed.
And that's why each president is supposed to have 2 terms.
Mhm.
Like,
Well, maximum.
Maximum 2 terms.
Which is why everybody should have term limits, to be fair.
Honestly,
Congress should be constantly turning.
I'm getting to the point. I think Supreme Court justices should have term limits.
No.
You don't think so?
No. It's not Supreme Court justices. That's
They gotta be in there for life.
Yes. There's a perfectly good reason for that.
You think they gotta be in there for life?
Yes.
It's a long time, bro.
Because of the it's how you keep the check and balance on the other two branches.
Do you think
You
you
don't
should be
make
allowed like to vote for justices?
No, because it should not be an elected position. That's how you keep the check. That's the whole point of the checks and balances here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's why if the judge does something terrible, they can be impeached and removed.
Okay.
But yes, it should be a lifelong appointment. That's because that's what makes it such an important position.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough. Because it's the
Otherwise-
highest court in the land.
Right. It's supposed to be the highest court in the land.
Fair
It is
enough.
supposed to be equal power to the executive and
Fair enough.
congressional branch of government.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
3 equal branches of government, which people keep trying to misunderstand. Even Miss AOC, who thinks that the Supreme Court falls under supervisory of the Congress. No, it does not. That's why Congress can't just put through whatever law they want.
Okay.
It has to be checked through the court if it goes against the Constitution. You see what I mean?
So it all ends with the judicial.
Yes.
Is it?
That's
Yeah.
if somebody right. If there's a law that gets challenged, it goes to the Supreme Court, and then they have to say if it violates the Constitution or not. That's their job.
Okay. Okay.
That's why it needs to be a lifelong position. Otherwise, it would be turned into a political branch where it's just used at the party's discretion. Do you see?
Okay. All right. I see. Now, what's it explained that way? Okay.
That's why packing the court would be super dangerous.
Because there's what, 9?
9. There's always been 9. 9
Always
since the
9.
creation.
Okay. Yeah, like for example, say the packet. How many would you put up? Just for like shits and giggles, like packing. Maybe.
None. I would keep it at 9.
No, but I'm saying like, say for example, to add more Supreme Court justices. What would you think like a max number?
A max number?
Like, do you think it'd be bad to go past 11?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. That's just like.
I think it would be bad to go past 9.
Well, 9. Yeah, because 9's an odd number.
It has to
You
be.
need
A
opera.
number you
Has
can't
to
have
be.
an even amount.
You can't because
No matter whether it's conservative leaning, it shouldn't even be a political leaning court.
It shouldn't. No.
It should be the best judge. The best judge in the country should be the one nominated, no matter what their political affiliation is. Even though in the past few years it's been turned into a politicization.
It is. It's been and honestly, if you
Both
ask me,
sides.
both sides are turning into a political shit.
But honestly, Kavanaugh was a damn good judge based off of his rulings. And he's ruled on both.
Honestly,
directions.
and a lot, he's ruled with liberals a lot.
That's my.
He has.
You got to actually take the best judges, and that's how they interpret.
Yeah.
You don't expect them to go one way or the other. They're supposed to make a decision based off of the Constitution.
Yeah, because they can't go by what they believe is right. They gotta go by what the Constitution is,
Right.
And the second you
whether they like it or not.
the second they show personal,
Personal.
they gotta go.
Exactly.
They gotta go.
Even though a
Exactly.
lot of the liberal judges always use personal. Look at their last couple of look at their ruling on the that would be a whole nother video. Let's get back into this.
Yes.
Yeah, we got.
We're at an hour now. Do you?
Well, his part with Tucker is almost done. There's a second interview.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
of our time. You know, and if much of the Democratic Party, or at least people on the south side of Chicago, believe in using the military on the southern border and putting the interests of Americans.
Now introducing
Oh,
Sling
man.
Free Screen. It's
Oh.
always free TV. With no
Yeah, that
credit
shit
card.
not brought now.
Add and drop.
Here, I'll say this.
First,
There's a free version
I'm not
of
sure
it.
those labels are doing much for us now. And one of the things, I actually just got this stat yesterday from my campaign, 40% of the donors to our campaign are first-time ever donors to the Republican Party in any form ever. And the normal number is 2%. So I think this should actually give us
You see that?
hope for
That's
possibility.
crazy. That's
usually
crazy.
new donors are 2%. He's got 40% new time donors.
That's why, to me, man, if you want to see massive change, you got to stop giving all the fucking money to the Dems and Republicans,
No, well, you need to give it to a guy like
or a guy
actual-
like this.
the actual guy.
Like
Yes,
to
he's
me,
running under the Republican banner, but you donate directly to him, not the Republicans.
I wouldn't mind
Yeah,
an
it's a-
independent.
Yeah, but the thing
You
is,
have to use the party recognition.
Yes.
That's the problem.
unfortunately, there's two parties. You got to pick one of the two parties, even though you're like probably in the center
Yeah, it's
or you're
hard.
independent.
Right. I know what you're saying. He's the closest thing to an independent that's running under
Yeah.
the Republican banner.
Yeah, I kind of.
You see what I mean?
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
You need the resources of the party's help.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the Democrats, if you don't all think the way the Hive does, you don't get any of the money.
That's true.
Republicans, at least you can speak your truth, see if people are going to follow you, and then they give you the money based off if you actually are generating a following, which is the way it's supposed to be.
Fair. Yeah.
If
Fair,
people get behind what you're saying, you deserve money from the party.
fair enough.
So that's why he means you got to stop looking at it Republican or Democrat. Really, look at the person.
Person. Yeah,
Person, yeah.
definitely look at the
Yeah.
person.
I look at him as more of an independent than a Republican.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it says R next to his name.
Like to me, there's a difference between Republican and conservative.
Yeah.
There's a vast difference.
Oh yeah.
Not all conservatives are.
And there's a
Republicans.
difference between being conservative and having conservative values.
Yeah.
You can be a left leaning person with conservative values.
The problem is everybody wants to label everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They want to put everybody into a box
Everybody wants to be.
and keep
Yeah.
them in that box.
But I get
don't
it.
like being
I
labeled.
get it. It's the way how the average person understands something.
Exactly.
I get it. I get it. It's a natural way of understanding something.
Right. Right.
If we're willing to take the shackles off a little bit, relax a little bit on identity can be confining. Right? The left
hell
does this
yeah.
masterfully. You're black, therefore you can't achieve something. You're a woman.
Yep.
That's like the
The
whole.
left does that all the time, dude.
Yeah. Right. You don't know how many times being black I've heard. Oh well, you're a Democrat, right? I'm like, no, I don't fucking care about your party.
Exactly.
Or like I've seen other black people talk about, oh, well, you're black, like Democrat. I'm like, guys, this is part of the freaking problem, man. Stop.
Assuming.
Just because someone is black
Yeah.
or Hispanic does not mean they need to be a Democrat.
Right. Or have to be a Republican.
Or like, God,
Why can't they have a mind and think?
God,
Hell.
damn. You assume just because someone's black, they automatically got to share the same perspectives as every other black person in the room. That's not. We're not all connected by a computer.
You're not.
We don't all run like. I'm sure not all Hispanic people run on the same operating software. Okay?
She just got her upgrade.
Like,
Oh my God.
all black people don't run on Dell, bro.
Oh,
All Hispanic people don't run on Microsoft. But like, damn. Oh.
Right? The left does this masterfully. You're black, therefore you can't
Yup,
achieve something.
yup,
You're
they
a
do
woman,
that.
therefore you can't achieve something.
Yup.
Identity's confining. You can be imprisoned in the identities that you
Oh,
inherit.
God.
And I just want to be careful that we learn from the left,
I hate that
or
shit
to
so
learn,
much.
including what not to do, to be confined and imprisoned by our own identity of what it means to be Republican. Let's just let that word go and instead ask the
Yeah.
question of what it actually means to be an American today.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
the question of our
Yep.
time.
Yes.
Yes.
Stop putting
When you
Democrat
ask
and
people my
Republican
age
on
that
shit.
question, you get like a deer in the headlights response. It's
Yeah.
like- it's a blank stare initially. But on the other side of that is then an introspection to say, okay, there are certain ideals that we fought a revolution for in this country. Self-governance over aristocracy, sovereignty as a nation, free speech, meritocracy. That you get ahead in this country not on the color of your skin, but on the content of your character and contributions. That's what it means to be an American. That's what we're running to. And honest to God, Tucker, I think that if we do this right, if we actually prioritize our vision, what we stand for, I think it's going to be a landslide election for I'm not going to say Republican candidate, a pro-American candidate in this race.
It's just interesting because
Yes.
what you didn't
Yes.
mention, so I asked you, you've been traveling
Oh,
around
man,
the
I
country.
get
It
the
sounds like you've really,
goosebumps
you
with
went
that
to
shit.
Kensington and the South Side. You've really kind of been to the span of the country. I watch media coverage and everything's about race. And America is divided by race. That's America's original sin. It's the thing that cleaves us as a country. You didn't mention that. So why do they keep telling me that?
They blow what I call woke smoke to deflect accountability for their own failure, actually.
Yeah.
So what do you think affirmative action has done for black people in this country? Nothing. What do you think? It's been negative. It's created racism that otherwise would not have existed.
It did.
I've seen it. I've hired black.
Affirmative action was the most racist thing ever.
I had a conversation with my family about this. We disagreed a lot on it. And it was like, to me, like, for example, I got my bachelor's degree. I went to a small college. It wasn't big. More people commuted than lived on campus, which that's pretty freaking normal nowadays. But I got 4 years, got a bachelor's of science in psychology, and I was thinking about affirmative action. Like, I get what the intentions of it were. But at the same time, like, you got to apply to a college.
Yep.
You can't just knock on the door and get in.
Like, for example, here, what would have happened if you would have gotten into the Yale psychology program, having nowhere near the grades or anything to be in the program? Would you have ever felt that you deserved to be there?
I would be so uncomfortable if I was in
So
that
if
position. I'd be like, I want to earn it.
I went, so say for example, if I applied to Yale, say I'm 27 now. Say when I was 17 and got out of high school,
Right.
graduated, I applied to Yale, and graduated with like a B minus average out of high school. Say I applied to Yale.
Let's say your friend Steve for this thing was an A+ student across the board.
Yeah. If I
random guy, just
random guy, Steve, yeah,
he applied to Yale, same thing.
Did all the extracurricular activities, a whole bunch of stuff.
You guys were in the same class.
Worked his ass off. Don't get me wrong. Would it be cool as fuck to go to Yale? Be like, yo, I went to Yale. Yeah, but if I found out that like
Steve got rejected and you got in,
like Steve got rejected, I got in, but I'm 2 years in, maybe, or a year and a half in, and I found out, oh, I got in just because Yale's trying to meet a quota.
Uh-huh.
It kind of feels shitty.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like, oh,
I didn't earn this.
you don't want me here because you really want me here. You want me for optics across for the rest of the society.
Exactly.
Just to say, oh, we're welcoming Black and Hispanic people in here, or whatever other minorities. It's like, it's. I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna kill my motivation to want to keep continuing. It's like
The ones that should be the ones that want to earn it to be there.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
that works hard.
and it's not
get
about
their grades
acceptance.
up
It
there.
just shows me, oh, just because of the color of my skin, you really don't think I can work, do
Exactly. You lowered the standard so I could be in,
and then
for nothing.
Then you get the same thing with historically Black colleges. I saw. Don't get me wrong. The documentary was a long ass time ago. It was about a white guy who went to a historically Black college. I forget which college it was, but he went there. He met friends. He lived on the campus. He was cool with his roommates and people down the hall. But then you had people who like gathered in like conference rooms and shit, and they interviewed them. And you had some Black people who said like, "Well, if more white people started coming here, I would feel offended." And I'm thinking like, what the fuck are you offended about? Like, so for example, historically Black colleges were created because during the time, a lot of racist white people
Right.
did not want black and Hispanic people going to
Segregation.
school with them.
Racist colleges.
So
Yeah,
if you want to
segregation,
make it
pretty
like,
much, on that.
oh, I would be offended that a white person comes to a historically black college. Why? That's the same level of fucking racism.
You should honestly be more proud of the fact that they want to go to an HBCU.
That's what I'm saying.
Instead of a regular traditional white
You
college.
can't. This is and this is what I say with black people. You can't scream, respect black culture, all this, support black culture, if you're not willing to teach it to anybody.
Right. Or let anybody partake.
Or yeah, like don't get me wrong, there are some people who disrespect the shit out of it.
Oh yeah,
There are,
they do.
and that's both black and white.
White, Spanish, across.
I don't. If you want to learn black culture, Chinese, Asian culture,
respectful.
Caribbean, any culture,
You name.
you need to respect it.
Yep.
You got it. It doesn't matter what background you come from, what skin color,
And
what
yes,
gender.
you have a right to make fun of it, but feel the consequences coming your way.
Yeah, if you like, for example, if you're gonna make fun of any culture, some people gonna whoop your ass.
Some people don't feel a certain way,
Some people are,
but
and
as long as you're being respectful about it,
that's
people
what
shouldn't
I'm
have a problem.
saying.
Shouldn't have a problem.
That's what there should be no damn problem. But like I get, like I said, I get the intentions of affirmative action and both the work. I get it, but at the same time, whether you're applying to go to school, whether you're applying for housing, public housing, or whether you're applying for education, public, or in work.
Yep.
I don't even think you should have the fucking section on the application that says what is your race or
No,
ethnicity.
exactly.
I don't even think that shit should be. It shouldn't matter.
Nope.
Black or white does not determine whether you can learn something.
You should want the best person for the
That's
job.
what I'm saying. So of course, I think you should keep it for medical shit. That I think because
Yeah.
there are differences there. But
Depending on what, you could have different standards per degree.
yeah,
Like a liberal arts degree could have a lower standard than a medical degree.
yeah, it
You
could.
see what I mean?
It could.
That could be different standards,
But
it shouldn't be based off of your skin color.
yeah, when people are applying for colleges, I don't even care if it's a scholarship. Get that shit off the application thing.
I 100% agree.
Get that shit off.
100% agree.
Because by even having that, you're automatically showing that you're looking out for certain
Yep.
people.
You're trying to say certain people are worse than others, but we need to have them in there to show representation.
Like,
You're just saying we don't think you can be as good as this type, so your standard has to be.
yeah,
That is ridiculously racist.
yeah. I'm just let
If you-
people get an education, man.
If your standard is 1,200 across the board, it should be 1,200 across the board, no matter what race you are.
Only reason
Exactly.
the main thing that I have an issue with education in colleges and universities, I get it. If you took a loan out, you got to be able to pay the loan.
Yeah.
However, the major issue is
Oh, the
some
interest rates are
universities
ridiculous.
need to bring the fucking tuition down.
Oh yeah, the predatory tuitions are ridiculous.
It's like, and I've noticed it with major schools, the tuition is increasing every year. Eventually, no one's gonna have money to even go there for half a semester.
Quite honestly, college tuition to be able to pay those back should be the lowest interest ever. It should be the
Like-
littlest amount that any bank can make money on, not the highest percentage.
Like-
It should be like 0.2%.
Like if you went to college, you should not be still paying for that shit when you're 55. That's ridiculous.
It should be paid for within 5 years after you graduated.
Like
To be
work
fair.
with people, man.
Like a car loan.
Yeah,
After you graduate, your loan should be set off so you could have it reasonably paid off within 5 to 6 years.
yeah. Higher education is not a bad thing to do. It's just, and there's not people. It's not like there's mass people who can't do the work.
No.
When I went to college, like I went to a liberal arts college. Okay, half the people who left the college, they left because they couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
Not because they couldn't do the work.
And honestly,
They had to go home and take care of families
that-
because
and
medical.
that should never happen at a college like that.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to drop out because you can't afford the education. That's ridiculous.
And that's another way that colleges could actually help, like if people from a poor neighborhood, no matter what color they are, if they score high enough but can't afford to go, the school should pay for it.
Yeah,
Because then you're
Yeah.
getting the best students,
yeah.
no matter where they're from.
And
Exactly.
and also with colleges, I'm fucking done with legacy preference.
Oh,
Just because your mama went to Harvard doesn't mean you automatically should
you should get that number just like everybody else.
get out of here with that shit.
Because you know what I mean? The person that's on the south side of Chicago that's busting their ass going into
To
the
be
lab.
smarter
Yep.
than the mom who went to the child of the mom who went to Harvard. The person who is in the inner city who wants to go to Harvard could be smarter than that other
Right.
kid.
Whether
Like-
they're black, Spanish, or white, And they might not be able
Yeah.
to afford to go to Harvard, but guess what? They score better than everybody else.
And they got
You should want the
and
student.
their work ethic is 10 times better.
Exactly.
Like,
You should want the student, even if just because they can't afford to go. That's the student you should want. And before people say their scholarships and stuff, some people don't understand the process to go through to apply for all those.
they don't, yeah.
You should be able to take the test if you score high enough. The school should be able to be like, this is a student we want. We're going to take care of the school. We're going to take care of the price.
Dude. Bro.
Those should be the students you want.
Yeah.
You shouldn't want someone who shouldn't be in your school.
Yeah.
I don't get why that's so difficult to understand.
I don't know there.
Are we keep going? We're at 1 hour 21.
Yeah, let's just finish
Finish the
what
part where-
saying. Yeah.
Okay.
Black executives at companies I have founded on
Yeah.
merit. I could care less for
Yeah,
the skin color. And then behind closed doors, people say, well, that person got their job because of race, because they're jealous because they weren't good enough to get the job. But that is sad. It's unfair to everyone involved.
Yep.
They'll blow woke smoke. They'll say math is racist. When in fact, you know, what might be wrong is not teaching kids in the inner city for a year under COVID lockdowns how to do math.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
they're using this to
Exactly.
cover up for that failure. I personally think that's actually what's going on in the U.S. military, too. Right? People wonder about where's this wokeness in the military coming from. I mean, our military has been disastrous in defining its purpose, how we're actually using the resources of a military to fight wars that we haven't actually shown great value from in the last 25 years. So let's just talk about systemic racism and white rage instead. It's a deflection mechanism. Companies do it, the military does it, schools do it, teachers' unions do it. It's irrelevant, and in fact, what would they ever do without those?
Let's see, I think the reason why racism, why it's still so like, the reason why it's happening, I think is just it was shitty during the development of the United States. That shit was so fucking ingrained. I'm not trying to amount everything to systematic racism. What I'm trying to say is like within like the South and like through like how we transfer from slavery to segregation.
But to say it's ingrained is kind of like saying it's still in the process that are going on today.
So I don't want to say it's ingrained in the country. I think it's just
No, by saying that, you're kind of saying that you're thinking that it's involved in the processes.
No,
that still
it's the
exist.
media that wants to
No, I'm
make
just saying
it
that's the way you're
seem
coming
Yeah,
across.
but
That's the way
I-
you're coming across.
but I also
that
I think
racism is so bad, it's so big. They keep shining the light on that.
I honestly
That's
think
what makes it
racism is as big of a
worse.
deal in this country as the media like to make it out to be. But go ahead, I'm trying to start. Don't make-
Sorry.
no, you're good. I see what you're. The media does fuck it up a lot.
Yes.
They do.
because it's rage clickbait.
But like,
Exactly.
I also feel like a part of it is like, I don't know. I'm not saying America's a racist country. That's not what I'm saying.
That's what they want you to think.
I think what has happened was, I think through slavery and segregation, like the way people treated each other, it got passed down through families so fucking much that people think there has to be a division. And so I think the media still just rivals off that.
But if you go back to 2002, look how people were treating each other. We were past that point. We put a black man in the White House in 2004. Racial relations were getting so much way better that
I think-
politicians were getting.
I
They couldn't
think
run
there
on
was
it anymore.
there was a point where it was quiet, and then you had, of course, you can have a full house party. There's always some asshole who got to ruin the whole shit.
But see, it's the media and politicians that needed to have the hate and the rage to run on.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
refuel it.
Because it's like, but you get it from everything. You get white people trying to say there's differences.
Yeah.
You get black people trying to say there's differences. But when someone says, "All right, explain to me the difference," they have no logical fucking support for it.
And you know why? You have to let them actually try to articulate it so you can see that they can't articulate it.
Yeah,
That's why you need freedom of speech.
yeah. Like there's stereotypes for everybody.
Exactly.
There is. Everybody's hateful to everybody, but at the end of the day, you realize what's the point? Like, for example, if the zombie freaking apocalypse happened, you're not worried about who's black and who's white. You don't want to get bit.
You're worried about who's going to be killing me and who's going to help me.
Exactly.
Yep.
Are you gonna run from the black zombies faster than you're gonna run from the white zombies? No, you just try to
You're
get
running away from the goddamn
from
zombies.
zombies. Like, why do you care so much?
If you got black and white zombies coming at you, you're not going to shoot the white zombies.
I don't want anybody biting my
You're
ass.
in front of you.
That's what it like.
Because they're all the
God
same.
damn.
Poor black kids who they could hold out as the sacrificial lambs for their own failures. What we actually need to do is to level up and say, no. Regardless of the color of your skin, how are we going to be a country that ensures opportunity, black, white, man, woman, doesn't matter? You know, my parents came to this country with almost no money. I've gone on to found multi-billion-dollar companies. And then people tell me, oh, that's because you had privilege. They tell me white privilege. It's sort of weird. It's sort of an interesting, it's kind of interesting.
Do you tell them?
I say, take the blindfold off, and now you have your answer. But the interesting answer is, actually what I do tell them, Tucker, is that I did have privilege. I didn't grow up in money, but I had two parents in the house, a mother and a father, with a focus on education and a faith in God. And you know what? That is the ultimate privilege.
Yep.
That if I'm going to enjoy that, every kid in this country ought to enjoy it too.
No, like to me.
And that's what we need in this country. We need a family. We need a strong bond, because that's what helps for the next generation.
Like,
You see what I'm saying?
I remember being younger and growing up. Like now that I think about it, like I was pretty privileged growing up.
Oh yeah.
I'm lucky to have two parents who gave shit about me, who both worked. It wasn't one working, one saying it. Like my mom independent as shit, y'all. Vito and Liz both met my mom.
Yeah.
My mom, you don't nobody tell my mom what to do.
Your mom keeps telling me like,
Yeah. But both my parents worked. Both my parents are now retired. They're good. I don't know what it's like to be poor. When I was a kid, I never went hungry. I always had heat. I always had a bed. I always had clothes on my back. I always had a shower.
food on the table.
Food. When there were friends who I had growing up, as a kid, and I knew they didn't have all the same shit that I had, and I saw how people treated them, and I always used to tell people, "Shut the fuck up! You got two parents in the household. He doesn't know his father. His mom doesn't want anything to do with. Shut the hell up.
Yep.
They're doing their best. Shut up.
Yep.
You're not struggling. They are. You don't know. Like, shut up.
It's usually the people that don't understand struggle that are making fun of the ones
Like-
struggling.
Like, shut up. If you don't know what it's like to be poor, okay, there are some people who are poor because they've made bad decisions.
Yep.
I 100% believe in that. But there are some people who are poor that, like, they work their ass off, but no matter what happens, like, they keep going through different life struggles.
Yep.
It happens. If you don't know what it's like to, like, work your ass off, and then how somehow just life throws you a curveball and it smacks you in the ass, don't open your mouth. Like, not everybody is born with a silver damn spoon.
No. And sometimes tragedy strikes.
Sometimes people have to sacrifice their own dreams because the family needs help.
Yep.
It happens. It's not everybody living in poverty in the United States of America. I don't know what the total percentage is, but you cannot tell me that every single person who lives in poverty chooses to be broke every fucking day of their lives. That's a small percentage.
It's probably 2%.
Like, legit, it's probably 2% or less. And that's why I hate when people say, "Oh, everybody's broke because they choose to be." No, they're fucking not. That's not true. You're just saying that because you just want someone to rag on, that pissed me off. But anywho,
I like what he's saying. He's almost done with this.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think, I just have to ask you this, because you're not a political professional, do you think Biden's going to be the nominee?
So it depends on who the Republican nominee is. I'm running because at this point, actually, my heart says, I couldn't have told you this in February. I launched on your show, and honest to God, when I left, I had no idea how this thing was going to go. My gut instinct is that I will be the nominee and in a position to win this in a landslide versus Biden. And they will not let Biden run against me. So I believe that if I am the nominee, they will not let Biden run. It is why they're holding in the back pocket the documents case against Biden. It is why they're holding in the back pocket everything else that you're wondering why they're not charging or bringing now. It's not a Democrat or Republican thing. It's a managerial class, deep state bureaucratic class versus elected official puppets thing. And so they're not going to have to use that if it's Trump because they think based on, they don't analyze, they analogize. They say we did it. We can debate that, but we appear to have done it. We appear to have done it, and so we'll do it again. So if it's Trump, they're going to run Biden. If it's me, there's no way they let Biden run. It's going to be a new puppet, Gavin Newsom, Michelle Obama, you name it. It doesn't matter to me, though, because for me, whoever it is, I'm not running against anybody in this primary field. And I'm going to keep that philosophy in the general. I'm not running against whichever puppet they put up, Biden or somebody else. I'm running for our vision of what it means to be a citizen of this nation, the United States of America. I'm leading us to something, and nobody else is going to get in the way.
Thank you. Vivek, good to see you. Good to see you.
Oh,
I was like that.
man.
See,
But
I like what he said there.
Yeah.
one thing I will say right now, as of where we are in time and shit, right now, if someone's saying right now, pick a nominee for the Democrat, it's gonna be Biden. Only reason why I say that is there's no nominee that's got any stature to their name
Do you
right
really-
now.
Is there anything that Biden has shown you that makes you want to vote?
No,
I'm
no.
I'm just asking. Is there anything Biden has done that would make you want to vote for him?
There's some things that he'll do, or no, there's some things that he'll say that I'm like, all right, that ain't bad. But then there's some things that he'll do, and I'm like, that wasn't it.
When's the last time that he's done anything that he said? Usually he says one thing and then you see what he,
He
does,
does
and it's
another.
like, dude, that's not what you're talking about.
There was only probably one thing that he did was okay. Everything else, shit.
Personally, I don't think he should
I
run
forgot what
again.
was that one thing.
I don't think he should run again. That was
No,
just
oh
my
God,
opinion.
no.
I don't think he should run again.
All right, so far, I know there's still another half of this interview that we'll get to in another
Yes,
part
yes. Liz, take a picture so we know where you're at.
Oh, okay.
26:15. This was the first part we're talking about Carlson, but overall,
God damn.
so after another interview with Vivek, what do you think so far about him?
I like him because he's not with the whole Democrat versus Republican. He's not with the whole black white. He's just how can we overall make the country better for everyone?
Exactly.
Which I'm vibe with, which
is
I
what
do,
we need right now.
which I vibe with.
This is the thing.
Because who wants a president like Biden that way? He was trashing down the Republican side. You don't do that. You don't trash down any of the sides. Your focus is supposed to be what his focus wants to be for this country. It's bettering the country. It doesn't matter which side.
Only
it is.
thing,
You see what I'm saying?
yes, only criticism right now that I would say about Vivek
Ramaswamy.
Vivek Ramaswamy is this is all cool. I vibe with this. But there's a difference
Between saying it and doing it.
there's a difference between saying it and doing it, and there's another thing. If he becomes president,
Mm-hmm.
he has to keep the same freaking platform.
Yes, he does.
Don't get into the office and be like, all right, I'm here now. Get there for 4 years and be like, fuck, I don't want to lose.
Yeah.
Don't do that shit.
But if he does everything that he's saying,
If he can keep 100% with this,
he'll get reelected and
he'll get reelected.
Yeah.
My fear is someone who becomes this out of the box is when they finally get the position of power and then don't want to fucking lose it.
Yeah. I don't think that he's that guy. He cares too much.
No.
Everything that I've heard him say, he cares too much. about
So far
America
he seems
forward.
so far he seems like he has a humbleness.
Because there's a
him
vast
too.
difference between someone running for the office and then someone who has the office and doesn't want to lose.
Let's be real. He's 37. He doesn't need to be doing this right now.
Oh no. He don't need to be doing
He's saying, you know what? He could be going. He could start another company and make another $500 million.
But, that's what I'm saying. He don't need to be doing this.
That's what I mean. There's a guy ready to go become
somebody at
president.
36 want to be doing this shit.
That's my point. That's why this is the type of guy we need.
That's like Like,
He's
bro,
putting his business, his everything out there, because they're gonna check his
I don't
background.
know
They're
how
gonna
many.
dig in there and everything. He's
Oh,
got nothing to hide.
He actually has said it. He's going to destroy the Department of Education. He's going to take away the IRS. He's going to defund the FBI. All the stuff that needs to be done.
why destroy the Department of Education? Why?
Because the way that we educate our children today should not be a blanket down, top down approach, the same all across the country. All kids in today's day and age with the internet,
They don't.
he's actually said this. With the internet we have now, kids learn differently.
Yeah.
We should be able to be
Yeah.
changing and adapting to
All-
our children, not having our children adapt to us.
And all kids don't learn the same way.
Exactly.
So that's why the Department of Education needs to be abolished, because this top-down approach where by standardized testing
Trying to
approach
teach
does
everybody,
not work.
trying to teach all kids the same thing at once.
Does not work.
It doesn't work.
And with the
Does that-
internet
yeah.
now, you can go teach a 6-year-old how to rebuild an engine. You couldn't do that 50 years ago.
That's true. That's
Literally,
true.
you could go start showing a class of 6-year-olds
And
how to rebuild an engine.
standardized testing doesn't really test someone's
No,
intelligence.
all it does is test their memory.
Yeah.
There are some stupid people.
And
that
if you
have
look at
phenomenal
something
memories.
repetitively enough, you're gonna remember it.
Exactly. But that's why a guy
Damn.
like this is the guy.
Damn. All right. I'm vibing with this.
I really like it.
I saw his clip
Really
about
good.
affirmative action, didn't do
Yep.
shit. Like I saw another media outlet, I forget the name. They cut when he said affirmative action didn't do black people. They just used that like little 10-second part of what he
Yeah,
said.
of course.
They didn't see the whole
clip.
Yeah.
what he was saying.
Because they don't want to. They want to form him in a negative light.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
too real.
And this is going back into what he said. Censorship. There's a perfect example right there.
But I will say this. I don't want to condone it, but that narrative shit, there's a science to that fucking process.
Yup.
People like work that shit on the computers, man. Like that's a 9-to-5 job, bro.
Yup.
It's like that's a 9-to-5 with some benefits. Like,
Yep.
damn. But guys, I hope you enjoyed some open conversation, whether you vibing with us or not, whether you like what we say or not. We just trying to talk, man.
That's all we do.
Converse,
Yeah.
different opinions,
Yeah.
different ideas, perspectives.
Now, depending on how long this video actually is, this part of the interview might also be broken up.
Yeah. I might have to.
But,
Damn, yeah.
guys, Vivek Ramaswamy is a real one. He's
I'm liking what I'm hearing.
one of the only.
I'm
real
liking what
candidates
I'm
in the
hearing.
race.
But like I said, like my only critique, anybody can say some shit.
You gotta go prove it.
You gotta,
Exactly.
if
But
you
again-
win, bro, you gotta.
You just said it. We gotta put him in there to prove it, though. The only way he can prove it is if we put him there.
Yeah. And
He's got to earn your vote to put him there, though.
that's true.
So I know what you're saying with your criticism.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to vote to put him there?
I would.
I will say this. Right now, he'd be if I was to vote on the Republican ticket,
Mhm.
he'd be my first option of consideration.
Mhm.
The way he's speaking.
To get Ian to say that, that's
and
huge. That's
Yeah.
huge.
That, yeah, he
Yeah.
would be my first option. I would lean more to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would.
hmm He's the only one speaking the American spirit.
Yeah.
He's the only candidate on either side speaking to the
I would
American
take,
spirit.
honestly, I would take him over Trump and DeSantis.
Oh, yeah.
And
Honestly.
like easily. If someone
Honestly.
said pick, I would take him over Trump.
To be honestly, because I like this guy so much and I want him I'd love him in the White House for 12 years. I would love him to go in there with Trump as the nominee and be Trump's VP. Because Trump's going to go and just fire the whole bureaucratic state because he's scorched earth. And his foreign policy.
I just,
I just want to see Trump just go crazy and fire everybody. And I want him to learn how to be a president for 4 years. And then go be president for 8.
I honestly, a lot
That
of
will
people
work
know
out.
me. I don't really I don't mind listening to Trump. I don't really share the same idea, like the same
Right.
values as Trump and DeSantis. I just want to see them debate.
I did.
I just want to see Trump and because that'll be a shit show.
Honestly, I think Trump would destroy DeSantis. You'd have a tough time with Vivek.
Yes.
Trump would have
Yeah,
a tough
Trump,
time
Trump would
debating
struggle
Vivek.
with Vivek. He would.
He would destroy DeSantis.
Yeah.
He would have Trump would have trouble with
Trump
this man.
would struggle with Vivek.
Oh yeah, Trump
It
does
would.
not want to be on the same stage with this man.
Nah. Trump. Only reason why Trump would destroy DeSantis has no personal identity.
No, he's got no charisma.
No, it's just DeSantis is a baby Trump.
Yeah,
That's all DeSantis is. He's a baby Trump.
he's Trump with no charisma.
Yeah,
and
he's
no
a boring
flair.
ass
Yeah.
Trump.
Yeah.
That's all he is.
Exactly.
Vivek has spirit. He
Yeah.
has spunk. This
Yeah.
guy actually has a plan.
And I feel like Vivek got receipts.
Yes. But I also would love the fact, because we'd have Trump as a businessman. He's not a politician, even though he was there for 4 years. Having two businessmen running the country, he'd be the most active VP. Trump can actually put him in charge of shit, go get it done, while he's actually focusing on stuff, not like having Mike Pence who could do not a goddamn thing.
Yeah,
You see what I mean?
Pence's ass really just sat there.
We'd essentially be having two executives running the country, even though Trump would have final say
Like,
for the first.
to be honest,
Yeah.
I want to know why Pence is here.
Huh?
I want to know why
I
Pence
have
is
no
running.
idea.
Like, who told him to run?
Because obviously this country's not his concerns.
Like, but guys, hope you all enjoyed this. Blow us up, comment, share this and shit.
Please
Everything.
retweet the shit out of this.
Bro, like
Help our
it.
Twitter channel grow.
Damn, man. Look at this. You got
Yeah.
black, Hispanic, and white. What more can you need?
All talking,
You got men
Right,
and women.
right.
What more can
all
you need,
talking
bro?
honestly and having
Bruh.
a civil debate about politics.
And you got like how it increases in age. I'm the baby.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm the youngest.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
No,
You-
no.
I'll let y'all decide who you think is older, Liz or Vito. But guys, we're all for open discussion, and we will
Always.
see you in our next social
And
discussion.
if you're going to
video.
be adding the comments down below, keep it civil with the threads. No,
Yes.
stop with the racist shit. Don't even.
Yeah,
get it going.
don't. Yeah, if you guys, if you get a little too violent, we might have to do some things we don't want to do.
Freedom of speech, but you start attacking people for no reason. those
Yeah.
comments will be-
Honestly, yeah. Civil people, civil.
Yeah.
We're not going to let you spew hatred for no reason.
Yeah,
That's
common
just-
sense.
Come on.
Common sense, even though common sense ain't so common anymore.
100% believe in free speech, but you do not have the freedom to insult at me.
Yeah, don't incite violence. You know, don't be like, yeah, you know, come on now.
You can say what you want to say, just be respectful.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Exactly.
saying.
That's all we're saying.
That's all.
That's what I'm
you
Have a
know?
respectful discussion.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
No reason
saying.
to result in name calling and other things.
Exactly.
If you're doing that, that means you're losing the argument. That's what that
Yeah, or you're
Yeah.
taking the conversation too personal.
Exactly.
But we will see you all in the next video.
Thanks for stopping in and spending some time with us today, guys. Hit that notification bell, give us a share because it does help the channel out.
Please and thank you.
There you go.
See you
Peace.
next.